Hey everybody, Nancy Burt-Preece here, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Please connect with me on any of my social media. I'd love to have you and share with all your friends, please. Well, we are using a product. I can't open this yet, but you can see I have lots of notes from the Stampin' Up! September to December 2026 calendar. If you have not received one and you would like one, please reach out to me. I'd be glad to get you one. So we are using a project which is from the Radiant Sunflower stamp set and the Radiant Sunflower dies, which I really like. I love fall colors. These are some of my favorite colors to craft with. And actually, I'm going to take out a bigger one. Well, I'll get to that when we get that far. So this is a card. I have all this beautiful designer series paper, and I really wanted to use it in a unique way. Thinking of you, I didn't put anything on the inside. I'm using Nested Essentials, some different DSP, and Cajun Craze in white. So it's kind of not that much as far as details. So here's how I'm going to make it. I have a 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. And I'll go ahead and have that. This will be the inside white. And I cut just a little bit of a 3 1/4 by 4. So I can put that in later. That's not critical right now. What I'm going to start with is my 4 by 5 1/4 outside Cajun. And what I did is I think it's easier to use the green glue, but you can do whatever you want. It's just the green glue you can get into the corners. And I'm going to start, this is some of the paper. Let me see if I can find the original paper here. And I'm just going to, see the green glue, you can move it around. And I'm going to grab the paper. Which is called Sunflower Fields. It's gorgeous. I can open it to show you some of the different designs. I already have one opened and used some of it. So this one is got all these great designs behind the paper. The front side, the back side, I like all sides of this paper. It's just so pretty. It's got like some mums in there too. I like that. I just love the colors. Some of my favorite colors. So remember, look in the back. It has Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Secret Sea. Now, Peach Pie is a color that we used to have. We don't have that as much, but you can see a little bit of it in there. So, I wanted to show you, I started, this piece is 2 by 5 1/4. Now, if you get them from me, I might change it because I really ended up putting this one on top of it, but I already had it cut out. So I would say that I might switch it to 1 1/4, this one, and then you can put this one right next to. This is some of the shimmer paper, glimmer paper. It is Golden Glow, so that is a different paper. And I really think it's so pretty, and it's Golden Glow is in this paper pack, so I figured it would be really pretty. Now it's weird, but I'm going to put it right on top of here. When I cut them for my classes, I'm going to make the yellow flower about 1 1/4 so they can be right next to each other. Now this is some foil sunflower paper. It is not double-sided. It's a specialty paper. And it comes with that Sunflower Fields pack if you do the whole suite. So it's gorgeous. It's in pecan pie. And this one is 3/4 inches by 5 1/4. Let me check, is that 3/4 too? Yep, and this is 3/4 by 1 1/4. Now this piece I made bigger on purpose. It is 1 1/2, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip the edge. And I'm going to try something different this time, but I'm going to rip the edge. And you notice I'm ripping towards myself. I hold it with one hand and rip it. And, you know, it's a neat technique. You want it to be, now how did I do that? Let me look. What did I do wrong? I'm not sure. Why did I get this? Oh, because I moved this farther over than I did this time. Okay, so if that happens, and I'll make sure yours is right, it's not hard. I'm just going to trim a little more off. Really okay. And then I'll put it there. Now, I can leave this white, or I can take pecan pie, and I can take a pecan pie sponge dauber. I have my sponge daubers in a little container like this, and I have them labeled because it just helps me not use the same color all the time. Here's a pecan pie. And then it is just used for that. So I could come in and use pecan pie on the edge. And I'm debating, should I use pecan pie or should I use a yellow? No, I'm going to try pecan pie. And I'll have a couple of them because you could also use Golden Glow. See how you just make that ripped edge just stand out a little bit? Just with a sponge dauber. I did not use it on the first one. I did on the second one. So you'll have to tell me which one you like better. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. And I'll have to check my measurements so when I'm cutting them for class, I get them correct. Okay, so I've got my 4 different pieces. If you get a little extra on an end, turn it over, trim it, like, you know, we've all had that. I'm just going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal to adhere it to the front of the card. And I wanted it to be, I found it easier to put it on top of something. And I also wanted the Cajun border around. That's why I did it that way. And see, as I look at this, this one is only 1 inch. So when I do yours, I might make it a little bit smaller when I'm doing it for class. Now, I used the dies from the Radiant Sunflowers to cut out a sunflower, the middle of the sunflower, a vase. This all comes in those dies. The really cool thing is you can cut 2 vases at the same time, 2 sunflowers at the same time, and 2 of the sunflower middles at the same time. So it's really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sense kind of, you know what, before I do that, I'm going to use my Cajun Craze, and I'm going to stamp Hello Friend. Now, when you're putting these on, sometimes I find that if you put it on a surface and then pick it up with your stamp, you get it more straight. So I'm going to do that, and I am coming through. Oops, got to make sure I really get that inked up. Whew, that turned out nice. I like the font on this. I like the sentiments. I'm just bringing this over so you can see them. The sentiments are wishing you so much happiness. Enjoy, thinking of you, hello friend. I like the little butterfly, which you could put on the side if you wanted. I just think it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to pop this part up first, just so I know where I want it to go. By the way, you notice I'm using some of the extra parts. You don't have to throw this away when you get to this. You can use some of these. I don't always bring them to class, but I use them in my own personal stamping because they still work. And they're nice to have these little dimensional edges. And sometimes there's certain things you really want the little dimensional edge for. So I'm going to, oops, almost missed that. I'm going to go ahead and take all the dimensional papers off. I'm right here by my garbage, so I can go right in the garbage. Uh-oh, where did I put? See, you know, there it is. Some of you, if you were on camera, you could just tell me where it goes. Be helpful if I put this upside so you can read it. Hello, friend. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue. And put that right there. I am not going to make this one a sticker. I could, but I think it's almost easier to put a little bit of glue on it. And I tuck it in just a smidge. That's an official word, if in case you didn't know. And my little sunflower. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here in the middle. And my little sunflower inside. So which do you like? Bigger on this side or smaller? I think I like smaller because you can have a little bit of edge over here, but either one works. It's an easy card, just using designer series strips. It's great to use when you have extra paper. And on the inside, I just have a little bit of paper and a white. So I hope you like this card. And I hope you check out the Radiant Sunflowers. It's a gorgeous set. Have a great day.